In the last couple of days, I have been talking with several leaders who are basically just struggling with people. People are the greatest headache that they have right now within their organization. They recognize that people are also their greatest asset, but people are giving them headaches. People's performance, people's attitudes, people's issues, people interacting with other people within the organization. The whole thing is just causing so much internal stress, so much internal pressure. It's actually not making work very fun for them anymore. They actually wake up every morning and they're going, I'm not even sure I want to be doing this job anymore. I'm not even sure I want to be leading. I'm not even sure I want to have to deal with these people. Why can't it just be easier? And as I'm talking with these leaders, as I'm talking with these business owners, we strategize, we come up with, how do you get people to perform better? How do you get people to have the same level of buy-in that you have for your organization? How do you get them committed? How do you get them on the same page so that they are understanding the impact of their choices, both personal and professional, and how it affects the business, how it affects the work that you're doing, how it affects everything else within the organization. And we can talk about that in the video today, but we're not going to, believe it or not. Instead, we are going to talk about what do you do with that discouragement. As a leader, how do you get past that internal dialogue that just says it is so hard, it is so frustrating, it is so discouraging right now that I'm ready to throw in the towel. I'm ready to quit. I'm ready to walk away. Or maybe it's not that radical. Maybe you're not going to sell the company and move to Fiji and enjoy tasty fruity drinks on a beach somewhere. But this is not what you want your business to be. This is not what you signed up for. This is not what you were hoping for. What do you do with that frustration? What do we do with that disappointment, that discouragement, that loneliness? Kind of stacked on top of all those themes is this idea that these leaders are lonely. They don't have anyone else to talk to. They don't have anyone else to share. They don't have anyone else to commiserate with or to hear how someone else has actually gone through finding a solution to that problem. And so they feel stuck. They feel isolated. They feel overwhelmed. And they can't go to their employees. There's just that power differential. You're not going to get honest feedback from your employees. People that they know that you can fire them. Self-survival within those employees go, I'm not going to be honest with the boss. That's dumb. I'm going to, possibly risk losing my job. So I'm just going to say what needs to be said. You don't always have the chance to turn to your executive team because they're in the same position. They understand that if they say something that might be wrong, offensive, counterintuitive, or counter to what you have thought and said, even if you've never displayed an attitude like your job is on the line, survival brain just kicks in and it just says, I can't be that honest with somebody who has that kind of power over me. Sometimes leaders take it to their spouses and they share and they kind of bring home all the weight of the work and on the world on their shoulders, and they try to talk it over with their spouse. And their spouse is going, I have no idea how to help you. I don't know what to do with this. I'm sorry you're going through this, but it sucks to be you. And you're going to have to find someone else because I can't help you with this. In fact, that's why so many leaders end up having marriage problems, is because the conflict and the stress and the weight and the worries that come with a professional job, if it kind of starts to taint or affect the relationship at home, it just makes it so nasty. So what do we do? What do the leaders do who are just at the end of their rope, who are alone and isolated and frustrated? Believe it or not, that's why I am here. And again, it's going to sound like a sales pitch. It's not really. It's just kind of a conceptual idea of this is why I really enjoy doing what I do as a leadership consultant, as a person who comes in and says, let me help you, leader, work through your people problems, because you can't do it alone. You're not designed to do it alone. You aren't working your best when you are alone. You need somebody who is unbiased. You can't fire me like from your job. Yes, you could fire me as a consultant. Yeah, I get that. but there is not an imbalance of power. In fact, we are equal, or if not, I'm actually one step higher because I'm coming in with a level of expertise and experience and training and all the other things that you might not have as a leader. You might be really good at running your company or making the widgets, but when it comes to dealing with people, the confusing aspect of dealing with human nature, there's no classes in high school for that. There's very few classes in business class for that. Yes, there are some leadership courses you can go through, and a lot of them are talking about, how to get your team to work together, how to function better together. There's lots of good leadership stuff. But I have found, hands down across the board, rather than throwing concepts, rather than throwing ideas, rather than throwing abstract thoughts or concepts at you, what usually creates transformation is relationship. It is having healthy people to offset the unhealthy people. To have someone that you can be a human being with first, and then a boss or a leader or an executive or a founder or whatever title you carry right now. You can be any of those, second it. But primarily you're a human being, and you can express your frustration, you can express all the honest emotion, and you know that you're not going to be judged. You know you're not going to be looked down upon. You know that it doesn't speak to your level of credibility or authority as a leader within that organization. That relationship, that interaction, that having a trusted confidant. If I could put that on my business card somewhere, trusted confidant. People wouldn't understand what that means, but hopefully in the context of this video, you understand what that means. That's what I get to offer to these lonely leaders, these guys who are doing it by themselves, these organizational heads who are so isolated at the top. They're going, I need help. I need some sort of interaction. I need some sort of guidance, direction. I need encouragement. I need somewhere where I can vent. I need somewhere safe that once I feel heard, once I feel understood, once we have these conversations, we kind of deal with the emotional stuff, someone else can also speak into, now what? How do we solve the problems with the people? How do we make the changes so that the organization gets healthier, that the interactions with people get healthier, that I wake up every morning and I feel hope, I feel encouragement, I'm excited to start the day. Those are the tricks. That's what I offer. That's what I do. That's why I love doing what I'm doing. I have the best job in the world. And if you're hearing this and you're going, man, that is exactly what I've been looking for. I didn't know who to talk to. And you're going, what does it even look like? What does it look like on a daily basis? What does kind of relationship look like? How much does it cost? All the business decisions that are part of, bringing in a consultant. Talk to me. You can DM me directly through LinkedIn here or through YouTube or whatever you're watching this on. This is going to be on several platforms. But reach out to me. You can get a hold of me and just start asking the questions. Maybe for the first time, you can find someone that you can ask the questions to rather than every day having someone ask 1,000 questions of you. And maybe you don't have to be alone. Maybe you don't have to be isolated. Maybe you don't have to be frustrated. Maybe you don't have to be discouraged anymore in your role as a leader within your organization. That's what I hope. That's what I hope for you. And let's be really clear. If it's not with me, find somebody else who you're going to do that with. But don't do it alone anymore. Find healthy people you can surround yourself with who have a level of training and expertise and understanding of what you do and why you do it, so that they can speak intelligently into your life and make your life professionally and personally so much better. Thanks for giving me 10 minutes to rant and rave here. I hope you found it encouraging. Hope you found it helpful. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.